Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome and thank you so much for tuning in. In the video today, we are working with this 8-ounce baby bottle from Craft Haven, and we are also going to be working with some vinyl from Flynn Sisters Supply Shop. This is the Coastal Vibes pack, and I'm just going to briefly go through this pack and show you what all is included. You get 2 sheets of each of these patterns, and you also get the decals, which I showed you at the very beginning. So, when I saw this pack and I saw this design right here, I decided I had made some girl baby bottles, but I had never made a boy one. So I thought that would just be super cute to put that vinyl on a bottle for a little boy. So that was sort of what inspired this baby bottle, was this vinyl pack. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have my vinyl laid out, and what I decided I wanted to do on this baby bottle was I'm going to leave a little section so that I can put some wording there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this bottle with the vinyl and just kind of leaving a little bit at the bottom, and we're going to leave the space here for the words that I'm going to put there. So I'm just going to kind of make a mark on the back side of the vinyl so that I know where to trim the vinyl. I'm also going to make a mark at the top of the bottle to know where to trim the top as well. Okay, so I wanted both the lighthouse and the boat to be on the bottle. Unfortunately, because of the size of the bottle and the design I decided to do, they couldn't both fit on there. So we're going to save this lighthouse and we are going to use it later on. So, and you can see here, I was a little upset because when I cut it, I didn't center the ship better. Um, I wasn't thinking about that when I sized everything up. So be sure, if you're using a patterned vinyl, when you wrap it around your tumbler, to get your dimensions that you then go back and look, okay, if I cut it here, is it going to have symmetry? So, that was an oversight on my part. So I'm just telling you, don't do what I did, and make sure, like I said, that once you do your measuring, that you still go back and look to make sure it's going to be even and centered and all that jazz. Now, off camera, I did go ahead and sand the baby bottle and I painted it. I was out of white spray paint, so I did have to use acrylic paint. And it was still a little tacky here, but I was just trying to measure the blank space that I left so that I could go ahead and get my wording cut out and I would know how big to make my words. Okay, this is a super cool tool that I purchased from the Amy's Make Everything, and I will have their link listed below. But what I am doing here is I'm just going to draw a line, and this tool will help me draw a straight line. And the reason I'm doing this is because remember the section that I said we were going to leave blank and have some wording there? I'm going to paint that section a different color than the white. So remember earlier I measured that blank space so that I could get my wording cut out. Well, that was also so that I could mark it on the tumbler and know where to paint that section the different color. Now, right here, I had already made my mark on the tumbler and I couldn't find it. So I'm just remeasuring that space, and I believe it was 2.5 inches wide. So I just went ahead and put another pencil mark and drew another line. Now, the paint job on this tumbler, it's not perfect as far as the coverage, and that's okay. The vinyl that we are using is not a transparent or semi-transparent vinyl. So once I wrap that on the tumbler, you won't even be able to see the white underneath. The only reason I did go ahead and paint it white is sometimes the stainless steel does sort of dull the vinyl. Even though you can't see through it, it's really weird because once you put the vinyl on, it just doesn't really pop. So I just went ahead and painted it white so that it would really make that vinyl pop. But if you don't want to paint yours, you don't have to. This is a really good quality vinyl. So I may not have had to paint the tumbler. It may have been perfectly fine. Again, I just like to base paint my tumbler in white, just in the off chance that you can sort of see through the vinyl a little bit and see that stainless steel. So that part is up to you. That's your choice if you want to paint it or not. But again, since I used acrylic paint, I wasn't getting the best coverage, and I just figured, I did do 2 coats of paint, but it could have used another coat. But I just went ahead and went with the 2 coats. So now I'm just covering the painted portion up with parchment paper so that we can paint our 2.5 inch section a different color. our bottle has been painted in this beautiful blue and our vinyl has been wrapped, I am just taking some electrical tape and running it around the rim of the bottle. So when we go to place our epoxy on, we can prevent the epoxy from moving all the way up to the threaded portion of the bottle. Now, I don't know if you can see this. It's a piece of plastic, and just a template. I was just using that to measure the bottom of our baby bottle, and it's the perfect size. So I'm going to go ahead and take that vinyl that we had earlier that had the lighthouse on it, and I'm going to trim that up and place it in this button punch and punch a circle out so we can place that on the bottom of our baby bottle. Now that the circle is punched out, I'm just going to place that vinyl on the bottom of the baby bottle, and look how cute that is. Since this is a nautical themed baby bottle, I wanted to add some sort of nautical rope or something like that. But I had this roll of red and white twine that I thought would be super cute on the blue section of the baby bottle. So I'm just taking some Mod Podge and with my gloved finger, rubbing that piece of twine with the Mod Podge, and I'm going to sort of put it in like a semicircle and leave it there to let it dry. And look, isn't that adorable? So once the twine was almost completely dry, but still a little pliable, I went ahead and placed it on the blue section of the baby bottle, and I think it's absolutely adorable. Okay, once I had the red twine on the baby bottle, I did go ahead and place Artistry Epoxy's tumbler glaze to the baby bottle. And so this has one coat of epoxy already, and I love a play on words, especially for children's items. I think it's just super cute. So I thought what was fitting for this baby bottle was Naughty Buoy. And so we just created that with a font from Creative Fabrica called Mismatched Socks. It is a duo font, and I only used one part of that font. And then once I had my wording, I just created an outline, and we cut out the outline in this red chrome vinyl and then the white vinyl for the inside just to sort of balance everything out. Now, once this vinyl is on there, we are ready to seal that vinyl in and place another coat of epoxy. Now, once that epoxy has cured, we're going to go ahead and place some striping in the blue section bordering the white vinyl. And I'm going to use some more of the red chrome vinyl and place some more of the white vinyl on top. The first strip of vinyl, I cut that one at 1/4 of an inch, and the second one I cut at 1/8 of an inch. And we're just going to place that on here. Now, once the striping is on, we're going to go ahead and seal that vinyl in and place another coat of epoxy. Once the epoxy has cured, I'm going to go in and sand this section of the baby bottle so that we can really create a good seal for our final coat of epoxy. But other than placing the final coats of epoxy, this baby bottle is done, and I think it is super, super cute. And also, let me add, the tumbler glaze that I only used that on the first coat. So once the vinyl and the paint and the little red and white twine was on, I used the tumbler glaze. After that, I used Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure epoxy. So I just wanted to clarify what type of epoxy I used and when, because I do like to use the tumbler glaze for my first coat. It makes things go a lot faster because it dries and cures so quickly, and it is super, super shiny. Um, I love it. I also love my Flynn Sisters Supply epoxy, but I do like to use the tumbler glaze for my first coat. And then thereafter, I can go ahead and place my vinyl, my striping, whatever, my decals, and then use the regular setting epoxy. Okay, so thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, leave those below and I'll be glad to answer them. So as far as a sneak peek, I know every video I do a sneak peek. However, this is getting down to crunch time. I have been trying to prepare for a craft fair that I'm going to be doing in December. But now that we're embarking upon September, I really need to bear down and get those products finished for the craft fair. So this means that I'm not sure what the next video will entail. So be sure to click on that bell for notifications so when I do release a new video, you will be notified and you won't miss anything, because again, I'm not sure what products I will be working on in the upcoming months. So you never know what you're going to get. So just be sure to click on that bell for notifications. So with that being said, thank you again for watching. I hope everyone has a blessed day.